They say Jefferson Academy runs on two quiet but dangerous beliefs. First, that a black kid from Southeast DC must be lying if he says his dad works for the Pentagon. And second, that nothing truly bad ever breaches the polished brick walls of an elite private school. But both those fantasies shattered one morning, loudly, publicly, on what was supposed to be just another Parents' Day. Ms. Anderson's signature tight-lipped smile faltered the second my father, Jonathan Carter, stepped through that classroom door. He wasn't wearing a janitor's uniform. He wasn't some clerk hiding behind a desk. He came in as a senior national security strategist, the kind of man whose job doesn't just protect buildings, but entire countries. Silence in that room was instant and heavy, like gravity had doubled. You could have heard someone breathe wrong. And I, Malik Carter, 10 years old and already tired of proving myself, sat there stunned, split between pure vindication and a sharp, cold fear, because I knew my dad wasn't just here to shake hands and pose for applause. He was following a threat, one that had somehow slipped through every checkpoint and landed right here, inside my school. But let me take you back, because that morning had started like most others. Me in front of the bathroom mirror, fighting my tie like it owed me money, while downstairs Dad skimmed encrypted reports on his tablet, sipping coffee like he had all the time in the world. Though, his mind was clearly juggling national secrets. He noticed everything: a crooked collar, untied shoelaces. "You ready for career day?" he asked in that tone grown-ups use when they already know the answer, but want to see if you're brave enough to say it anyway. "I'm gonna tell them you work at the Pentagon," I said, hoping it sounded cooler out loud than it did in my head. He gave me that look, the one halfway between warning and pride. "Just remember what I always say." I beat him to it. "Some things are safer if you don't say too much." He smiled and ruffled my hair. "Smart boy, let's roll." Jefferson Academy is more fortress than school. Tall iron gates, manicured, lawns, and a car lineup outside that looks like a luxury dealership. I stepped out of our beat-up sedan with my shoulders back, trying to wear confidence like a blazer that actually fit. Inside, my best friend Ethan found me, breathless and late. As usual, the only kid who never made me feel like I had to pretend. "Nervous?" he asked. I lied. Of course I was nervous. My classmates were name-dropping lobbyists and billionaires. Tyler bragged about his dad's latest $50 million merger. Sophia casually mentioned her mom was on a Senate subcommittee. And me? I had a story nobody believed. When my turn came, Ms. Anderson, polished and smiling like a razor blade, called my name. "Carter." My stomach dropped to my shoes. I stood up, voice shaking only slightly. "My dad works in security operations at the Pentagon." Silence. Then the laughter. Came, soft at first, then loud. Tyler snorted. The whole room followed. Ms. Anderson didn't stop them. She actually joined in. "The Pentagon?" she said with fake surprise. "Is he the president too?" I could feel my face go hot, but I stood tall. "No, ma'am. Security, operations." She didn't even try to hide her condescension. "Honey, next time, just stick to the truth." I walked back to my seat feeling like I was made of stone. Only Ethan spoke up for me, insisting he'd seen my dad's badge. "Detention," she snapped. The rest of the day dragged. When Dad picked me up, he only needed one look to know everything. "Rough day?" he asked gently. I spilled it all. He stayed calm, but his grip on the steering wheel said otherwise. "Sometimes being underestimated is an advantage," he said. "How is being laughed at an advantage?" I shot back. His phone buzzed. "Work," he said. "We'll talk later." That was code for, "I've got to save the world, son." That night I saw the black SUV outside, engine humming. A man stepped out, muttered into his wrist like a spy in a movie, scanned the block, then got back in. I told Dad. He barely blinked. "Go to bed," he said. "It's handled." That's what he always says. By morning, he was gone, left a note saying Mrs. Thompson would take me to school. She smiled, told me the country needs men like my father, but there was something in her eyes that said she knew more than she let on. Meanwhile, inside the Pentagon, Dad was knee-deep in a crisis. A sophisticated cyber attack that mirrored a breach attempt in Jefferson Academy's own database. Someone, somewhere, had connected the dots. And that meant danger wasn't just on his radar, it was on mine too. Back at school, Ms. Anderson kept poking, praising other kids, mocking me with a sugary, sweet tone that stung like vinegar. I held my own. Threw back Pentagon trivia, segregation-era bathrooms, Cold War hot dog stands the Soviets thought were secret bunkers. The class laughed, but not at me this time. Ms. Anderson's face twisted like she'd swallowed something bitter. When she challenged me to bring my dad on Parents' Day, I said I would. And this time, he didn't dodge. "I'll be there," he said, eyes steady. "And I'm done playing nice." Parents' Day arrived like a storm. The front of the school swarmed with black SUVs. My dad stepped out wearing his badge like armor. Ms. Anderson went pale. The principal rushed in, all flustered. Respect. Introducing my dad as a senior national security strategist. When Dad spoke, it wasn't just about jobs or titles. It was about how the most dangerous thing in any system is assumption. Assumptions that blind you to threats. Assumptions that look a lot like prejudice. Ms. Anderson actually blushed. Tyler asked if Dad had ever been in a gunfight. Preparation, teamwork, and yes, sometimes danger, he said. But then his phone buzzed again. He was out the door before his sentence ended. "Lockdown drill," the principal announced. But no one in that room believed it. Something real had just arrived, and this time, everyone finally understood what I already knew. My dad wasn't just my hero. He was the one standing between safety and chaos. The breach hit like a thunderclap. Cameras down, doors hacked. Jefferson Academy plunged into chaos. My dad stood up, calm, steady. "Lock the door," he said. Ms. Anderson, stunned, obeyed without question. Then came the agents, FBI in full gear, swarming the halls. Leading them was Agent Ramirez, trench coat and all. No one was pretending anymore. They found surveillance tech hidden across campus. High-grade stuff. Target. Our classroom, our devices, our homes. The attackers were hacking into government systems using us. Kids. Tyler's dad pointed fingers. "He brought the danger." But Ms. Anderson shut him down. "No, he protected your children." The class went quiet. Then a fake maintenance man tried the door. Ramirez shouted, "FBI!" He ran. My dad chased him down, straight into the cafeteria. Knife fight. Tables crashed. Screams echoed. My dad dropped him fast. "You picked the wrong school," he said. Then blackout. Lights off. Screams. Shattering glass. Smoke. Second attacker had triggered the chaos. Evacuation collapsed. My dad grabbed me and Ethan. Ms. Anderson followed, terrified. Outside, it was a war zone. Sirens, helicopters, red and blue lights blazing. I finally understood. This was what Dad had been shielding me from. Then came the truth. I was the target. Vogue, Dad's old enemy, led it all. Wanted me as leverage. They took me, but Dad stormed a warehouse, tracked my chip, took Vogue down, and brought me home. Tactical. Relentless. Back at school, everything changed. New security, new culture. Ms. Anderson apologized in tears. Even Tyler tried to befriend me. She asked me to share my story. I said yes because people need to hear what it costs to be doubted and what it means to be seen. As Dad picked me up, I knew I wasn't just Malik Pentagon kid. I was proof that truth can shatter bias. And sometimes, the quietest kid in the room has the loudest story to tell. So here's my question. How often do we dismiss someone just because their truth sounds different?